To wrap up my summer adventure, we'll take a walk through Chesterfield Mall, the dead mall that no one saw coming. Chesterfield Mall opened in 1976 as the sister mall to Jamestown Mall, both of which were developed by Jacobs, Visconti, and Jacobs. Original anchors at the mall were Sears, Famous Bar, and Sticks Fuller. The developers initially bet on major developments to happen around both of these malls, but where Jamestown Mall was cursed to be that mall in the middle of nowhere, Chesterfield got its wish, and in short time, neighborhoods went up and later on, office blocks. As the mall gained in popularity, it made sense to make an addition to the mall, which would result in Famous Bar moving to a new store in the mall, while JCPenney would briefly take over the old pad. JCPenney didn't last long, unfortunately, but this was addressed as the space was demolished to make way for an AMC cinema and a food court which features a cheesecake factory. Sticks Fuller would be acquired by Dillard's and would be completely reconfigured to be more like Dillard's, resulting in that big 90s arch that aged like milk and looks particularly awful on a 4-floor building. In September 2016, the mall would have been flooded, resulting in the first major blow to the mall. Dillard's, having suffered flood damage and a water main break, closed the store for repairs and would announce reopening in 2017. Though as we've seen earlier, yeah, right. Meanwhile, May Company would merge all of its brands, which included Famous Bar, into Macy's sometime in the mid-2000s. This proved to be an easy task, as May Company had the habit of mayonnaising their stores if they were doing well. Today, Macy's continues operations alongside the movie theater and the food court. 2017 would be very unkind to Chesterfield Mall, as many tenants began to vacate due to flood damage that happened in the mall. In addition, a political protest was held at the mall, giving shoppers the impression that the mall may not be safe anymore. Today, the mall's future looks very shady as Fast Eddie, surprise surprise, has seared the Sears at Chesterfield Mall. In addition, Hull Property Group now owns the mall and will most likely turn this mall into another beige, dull, and boring legacy of lame. Alright. Now that the history's out of the way, I can start getting to my own personal thoughts about the mall. And, well, naturally, I love it. I think a good chunk of this mall is still original architecture, minus the anchors and the food court area. And in this day and age, you don't see many fixed planners anymore, which brings a lot of character to this mall. The part that bothers me about this is that Hull Property Group owns the mall, which really dooms this mall no matter what now, in my opinion. If they see anything worth operating in this mall, they'll renovate it into some beige, dull piece of crap. And if they don't see anything worthwhile besides real estate in the mall, then they'll close it and probably use it as a tax break while leaving the mall to rot for 10 years. The former has happened to Danville Mall, which we'll cover later, and the latter has happened to Wilson Mall. Like with St. Louis Mills, I was at Chesterfield Mall on a Sunday, so some of these stores may be closed for the day. However, even then, there are still a considerable number of empty spaces. The area that holds the cinema and the food court seems to be the most lively, with some lingering spaces around Macy's and the now closed Sears. The Dillard's corridor is almost completely empty, with like maybe 3 or 4 stores left. Also, here's the carousel, which does have a couple kids, but for the most part is kind of pointless at the moment. And while on the subject, hey kids, if you're watching, don't grow up. It's a trap. What would a dead mall be without a bunch of raffle cars? And the... Wait a minute, did I see that right? 24 MPG? Screw that. My old F-150 got better fuel economy than that. While here, I was able to catch Sears in its early stages of liquidation, so naturally, we'll go take a look in there for a few seconds. Naturally, Sears is in dire straits at the moment. In fact, right now, given their current position on the stock market, everyone and their mother is taking bets on when they'll finally drop dead and shut everything down. I'm kind of thinking about doing an in-depth video about Sears and going into detail about their current situation. If you guys are interested, do speak up. Your comments, they help me paint a picture of what the people will want to see. It's how I quit my addiction to captions, and it's why I do voiceover commentary like this. Don't be afraid to speak up to me. I might just do it. How many cities has Sears left completely now? I mean, man, there must be at least a dozen by now that have had 3 or more full-line Sears locations that are now either in the process of leaving or have shut down altogether. In fact, a dozen may be an understatement. I only have 1 or 2 Sears stores left within half an hour of me, and who knows which one will close next. Maybe both, maybe neither. At this point, I'm just expecting Fast Eddie to pull the plug as early as the next week or so. The world's slowest liquidation is gonna draw to a close at some point. So what would I do with an empty mall like this? Well, first order of business, get Dillard's to either open up or give up their building if they won't reopen. Second, rezone Sears and Dillard's into potential office space or alternate use. I would also try to draw in different tenants, like entertainment venues or even medical space. However, looking at this mall, I'm starting to think even that wouldn't work. Because one, with heavy flooding more likely to happen in the future, and damages starting to crop up in other parts of the mall, I feel this mall's days are numbered, especially with Hull Property Group at the helm now. And up ahead is Macy's, which looks decent at least. I suppose with Macy's doing better nowadays, they might remain at this mall, for now. But again, that could change at any time. Now that I look at it, it seems all the business is just crowded around the movie theater. All other wings of this mall just look empty. Like, wow. Less than 2 years ago, this mall was doing well, and just like that, it's dead. Not even dead mall enthusiasts saw this one coming. Okay, as we're going back to Dillard's, I'm gonna peek into one of these closed storefronts. Listen carefully.
Yeah, you guys might want to fix that.
With a leak like that, who knows what else is wrong with this mall? I have a bad feeling in my gut that we may be looking at Jamestown Mall 2 Electric Boogaloo. You have a closed-off Dillard's full of water damage, and Sears is taking off. Water damage, flooding, and potential undesirables plaguing the mall. I really have a bad feeling about this place. Anyway, I wish we were ending on a more positive note, but nonetheless, if you enjoyed this video, do give me a like, tell me what you enjoyed. If you didn't like it, then tell me what you didn't like, and I can try and work towards improving that. These videos are changing little by little each time. I just might take your advice. Also, do share the video if you have people who like this kind of thing or had memories at Chesterfield Mall. I also want to give a shout out to Jack from deadmalls.com. He was here at the mall, but I just missed him. He'll have a video on this place sometime whenever he uploads it. Maybe pester him. I would also like to give a shout out to DrunkGamer89 for accompanying me on this great summer adventure. It was a blast hitting all 6 of these malls, and I look forward to more adventures like these in the future. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, this has been Doomie Grunt, wishing you and Chesterfield Mall farewell.